Southern Michigan in the spring is a landscape rich in life and sound. 50 shades of green saturate the scenery in any direction you look, and the chorus of crickets, songbirds, and peeping frogs form the soundtrack. But of all the spring sights and sounds, one stands above the rest: the gobbling turkey. I was here in my home state of Michigan to see if I could find one of those turkeys, and if so, to see if I could call him in. Because that right there is the magic of turkey hunting. Being able to talk with a turkey and somehow connect with him just enough in his own language that he'd do exactly what you want him to.
What's so cool about this hunt kind of for me is that coming to the year, I've been thinking about the fact that I'd only ever called in turkeys with a slate call or a box call. And I decided I really wanted to try to challenge myself, so I told myself I would only use a mouth call to bring them in this year.
And on this given morning, it seemed that perfect, almost magic moment might present itself. Not long after sitting down that morning, I could hear two turkeys gobbling exactly where I thought they'd be after watching them strut in this same field the night before.
There's a lot of talking going on so far this morning. We got two birds over here. There's several birds way down the other side of the property. I love it. It's tempting though when you hear them gobbling like this off the roost. It's really tempting to want to call back every time they gobble, but kind of learned it's better to play hard to get, so try to be patient.
Calling to turkeys, in many cases, is more art than science. Being able to make the basic sounds is, of course, necessary, but the art is in knowing when to use those noises versus just being quiet, or when to be subtle versus when to be aggressive. To do this, you need to do your best to understand the mood of the turkey and what he might be most receptive to. In this case, I began with some basic hen yelps, as I'd seen these turkeys strutting the same field the night before, and I knew if they heard hens in that same direction again, they'd be liable to investigate. 10 minutes later, with morning light growing, I spotted the bright heads of two toms pop out of the woods headed my way. They quickly closed the distance between us. I began some light, subtle yelps until I knew they knew where I was. Then I quieted down and stayed patient. But at 65 yards, the lead turkey stopped, his head raised up, looking for something that he wasn't seeing.
So close. They came in to like 65 yards. Saw the decoy spread, just weren't sure what to think of it. Decided they weren't gonna come in, but yeah, it was cool.
I knew these birds had been called to a lot just the day before, so I didn't like our chance of getting them to show interest again. That was until I heard the hens. A group of talkative female turkeys had made their way into the field, and I realized that if I could get one of them irritated enough to come check me out, that might pull the gobblers back my way. So every time a hen yelped, I yelped right back. The more she called, the more I called, getting more and more aggressive each time. After a few minutes of this, I could tell she was getting fired up and slowly moving in our direction. Soon after, here came the toms again, gobbling away with each of my calls. All hunts are special, but as I see it, a hunt graduates to a new level of experience when there's this opportunity to actually interact with an animal, one-on-one, and in some simple way to communicate or engage with it. And this hunt was a perfect example of that.
Ooh. Man, that was the morning.
Some people believe that language is what sets us apart from the animal kingdom, and there might be some truth to that. But at the same time, after hunts like this, I begin to wonder if we're not all that different after all.
This is kind of the turkey morning you dream of. The sun's just rising, there's dew on the grass, and the turkeys are talking. Love it, absolutely love it.
This is the first bird I ever called in with a mouth call, so that is it's kind of cool.